Hey guys, and welcome back to the Life of Con. And today, for those of you who've been following March Madness, I'm going to be kind of making some predictions and breaking down the matchups for the Sweet 16 round of March Madness, which is starting tomorrow. I was hoping to get a video out yesterday because that would, get a little more time for people to watch it before the actual games. But I unfortunately did not have enough time to. So I'm just going to try and make this video and edit it and upload it as fast as I can so that there's at least a 24-hour time frame for people to kind of check this out. So we're going to be going to the official March Madness bracket. So let's start off with a matchup of number 1 Duke and number 4 Virginia Tech. This is a matchup that almost didn't happen because if you guys, I don't know if you guys watched the Duke UCF game, but that game was extremely close. It ended with a UCF player tipping it and just rolled around the rim, almost going in before falling out in like the last seconds of the game. After that happened, I'm going to change my pick. I had previously had Duke falling prey to complacency and losing to Virginia Tech, but now that they had their scare, I don't think that's going to happen. Every year, there's a 1 seed, well, all the 1 seeds usually go through some sort of complacency, or they have one scare where a team that they really shouldn't lose to kind of gets the best of them. It can go one of 2 ways. They can either just barely stick it out, and then they're able to, rewire their self and rewire their team and come back stronger, or they lose to that team and that's really it for them. Duke's going to come back now and they're going to say, we're not going to let that happen again. They're going to come back strong against Virginia Tech, and I think they're going to pull out this win. Duke kind of has this way of winning even when they're not supposed to, or even when they're not playing the way they should. And I think that UCF Duke game was like the only opportunity to get Duke out before the Final Four. And now that they almost had that loss, they're not going to let that happen again. For the sake of my my own bracket, I hope that Virginia Tech wins. Also, I kind of root against the number 1 favorite because I don't like seeing that one team that's supposed to win just win it all. But I am picking Duke in this game. LSU versus Michigan State. This is going to be a very interesting game, a very close game. I've been following these games. LSU really LSU's had 2 really close games. Their first 2 rounds, they beat Yale 79-74 the first round, and then just barely stuck it out against Maryland 69-67. They've had a problem of the team coming back and almost getting the best of them. So I'm going to have to pick Michigan State in this one. Michigan State has won both of their first rounds by more than 10. So I'm going to go with Michigan State. They just have the upper hand in most fronts. And then going down to Gonzaga versus Florida State. So Gonzaga in my bracket group, I have them winning the championship. And I think this is going to be the biggest test for them, definitely so far, and probably for the rest of the tournament, because Florida State is very evenly matched with them. They killed Murray State going into this game, so they have a lot of momentum. But Gonzaga has been an overall very good team. Offensively, they've been very good. They beat their 16 seed by 38 and then won against Baylor by 12. They really haven't let any teams get close. I mean, I take that back. They did let Baylor get pretty close coming out of the second half, but they silenced them pretty quick. And a sign for me of a good team is a team that, every team is going to have spouts of a game where the other team comes back for a second and kind of scares them. But every time that's happened so far this season, besides St. Mary's game, of course, Gonzaga has just been able to silence them really quick. And I think it's a good sign that Baylor came back a little bit, and then Gonzaga, it didn't take very long for Gonzaga to just push them back again. And they don't let the other team get on a roll very often. And so I think Gonzaga is going to pull out this game. And then that brings us to Texas Tech versus Michigan. Michigan's games have not been too close either. I did watch the Florida and Michigan game. Florida did get actually pretty close to Michigan at one point, but it just like I said with Gonzaga, it didn't take very long. Texas Tech won both of their games by more than 15, and Texas Tech's defense has been pretty impressive, and Michigan hasn't scored a lot of points. Like, they've scored a lot of points, but not as much as some of the offensive powerhouses that have been in this bracket. Both defenses have done great. Michigan held their teams to 55 and 49. So I think it's going to be a very close game. It's going to be a defensive game. I'm going to have Michigan State pulling this one out in a very close game. I can't even, it's kind of a toss-up because both teams have been very evenly matched. Now going across the other side of the bracket, we have Kentucky versus Houston, and this is also going to be a very good game. We have Kentucky killing their 15 seed 79-44, and then beating Wofford in a very impressively hard-fought game by Wofford. They only won that game by 6. And Houston has won their games by 19 and 15. This is going to be another evenly matched game. It's hard picking the 2 and 3 seeds. I'm going to go with Kentucky on this one, just because they've had kind of a close call with Wofford. I think they're going to come out strong against this Houston team. I think they're going to get up big on them early, and then Houston's going to make kind of a comeback, but I don't think it'll be enough. So the next game is North Carolina versus Auburn. So Auburn, I think both of these teams have a lot of momentum going into this game, a whole lot of momentum, because I watched the Auburn-Kansas game. If Auburn plays North Carolina like they played against Kansas, I think they'll win, because they played an amazing game against Kansas. They did, everything went right for them. They scored 89 points. So Auburn has a whole lot of momentum going into this game. And North Carolina also has momentum, kind of comfortably winning their games. Auburn is surging though, and it wouldn't be a March Madness predictions video without choosing at least one upset. So I'm going to go with Auburn over North Carolina on this one. I think Auburn's going to be their humbling moment, and I don't think they're going to be able to recover from it if Auburn gets up on them like they got up on Kansas. And now for a very important game, especially for me in my bracket, Purdue versus Tennessee. Tennessee is second ranked and Purdue is third ranked in their region. I had Purdue in my bracket going to the championship, and so we have a couple close games for Tennessee. Iowa almost beat them, almost came back to beat them, forced overtime on them, came back from like a 20-point deficit, and that was the humbling moment for Tennessee, like I said before. Purdue comfortably winning their games, and this is a tough decision for me because I've been talking about the whole humbling moment thing and how teams can surge back from having those moments. But then again, Purdue has really been playing lights out, and they have a lot of momentum. So this will be a tough call. I'm going to have to go with Purdue on this one, simply because they've been playing some great defense. Again, this is a very tough decision. Always the 2 and 3 seeds are kind of toss-ups. And so I'm just going to go with Purdue on this one because of the defense, because they have been firing on all cylinders and their offense has been doing pretty well. So I'm going to go with Purdue. Will they play Virginia or Oregon for my final pick? Oregon's been quite the Cinderella team. Not only did the 12 seed make it to the Sweet 16, the 12 seed won both of their games by 15 plus. They beat 5-ranked Wisconsin by over 17, and then they beat UC Irvine by almost 20 points. So they have a lot of momentum going into this game. And Virginia kind of got a scare from Gardner Webb, but I think that was the last straw for them. They probably went in at halftime and said, "That's it. That's not happening again." And I think they're gonna surge forward. They comfortably beat Oklahoma, and I think they're gonna beat Oregon in this one. I don't think Oregon's run can go any farther because Virginia will not lose to a seed lower than 10 again for a long time, I don't think. So as good as Oregon's been playing, I think Virginia is going to stick out this win. I think they're going to win this game pretty comfortably. That does it for my predictions. So I'm not going to be making a video predicting the Elite Eight games and which teams will go to the Final Four, because the Elite Eight games are directly after the Sweet 16 games, because the Sweet 16 games are on Thursday and Friday, and then the Elite Eight games are on Saturday and Sunday. But rest assured, I will be predicting the Final Four and championship games, and probably in the same video, because I can't make one video based on just that. I hope you guys are doing well in your brackets. I am currently in second place in my bracket challenge. It's all going to come down to probably whether Duke wins or whether Gonzaga wins their games, because more than half the people in my bracket group picked Duke to win. I think it was 7 out of 12. So it's really just going to come down to whether or not Duke wins it all. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and follow my Instagram. The link to that will be in the description below. And please follow my podcast. The link to that will also be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side.